Hello vinyl freaks, it's the Danish record hunter here, and in this video I will tell you about the first album by Charlatangruppen, and it's called Hvad der galt med Benny.
Benny, han skal være fin, skal ligne lidt kong Konstantin. Benny, han skal være fin, skal ligne lidt kong Konstantin. Og det er faktisk fjol, for det er Bennys hoved, der sidder helt på toppen der under kroppen. Har han tær, der lugter som en gal, så han er helt normal. Når Benny har fødselsdag, så får han undertøj.
So before we get to me talking about the album, I just wanna say a few words to Peter Bundgaard, who passed away a couple days ago. He was one of the most iconic illustrators in Danish rock music, and I chose to have a couple of the records behind me, even this metal record from the 80s, where he illustrated them. So that's just to pay some tribute to this guy who did some iconic work in Danish rock music. And of course, Peter Bundgaard, he didn't do the illustration of Charlatangruppen, Hvad der galt med Benny. No, it was another guy called Mick. So this is just because it's recent that he passed away. I just want to show his stuff to you. But now let's get to Charlatangruppen. The thing about this band, it has its roots all the way back to another band called Blues Addicts. And now Blues Addicts, they were this heavy blues rock band who they only made one album. And in the band you had like the guitarist Ivan Horn, but also the vocalist Thorstein Thomsen. And they released one album on the Spectator label, and the few records that was released through this label, they're very rare today and of course very expensive. And it's because the Spectator studio burned down I think in 1972 with all the master tapes, and probably lots of copies that wasn't sold. So they're very rare, and also you will never be able to probably remaster the albums. But enough with this side of Blues Addicts, because what happened to Blues Addicts was Thorstein Thomsen, the vocalist of the band, he left, and then they recruited another singer whose name is Carsten Valentin Jørgensen. So Blues Addicts pretty much morphed into the solo band of C.V. Jørgensen. So the first album by C.V. Jørgensen, solo album, is called En Stynet Streifer from 1974. And that one, you can actually hear some traces of that old Blues Addicts sound. The thing was that Ivan Horn, he left like the solo band of C.V. Jørgensen shortly after the release or around the time, and he became a member of Barbarella. Now, I already made a video about Barbarella, and also recently I posted finally the full album by the band. And you see it's this one right here. So Ivan Horn, he replaced the guitarist Kenneth Carter, and also in the time of the band, the drummer Terje Barnholt, who was actually in a band, it was called Terje, Jesper og Joachim. They also released an album on the Spectator label, also very expensive and rare today. But yeah, he was replaced by René Wolf, who was the drummer in Sensory System. So he became a member of Barbarella just after Sensory System. And what I want to show you is I actually traded some records for an old shoebox full of press photographies and just pictures of Danish bands from the 70s. And I will just show you this one. It's an early picture of like the original classic Barbarella lineup that appears on the record. And here you see the picture, just to because it says copyright here, so I just want to mention his name. It's by Benny Hansen. And then I also have these pictures here. They are from shortly afterwards. Even Horn, I can see here, he was not part of the band at the time, but René Wolf, he was, and he's the guy sitting right here. And also you can see René Wolf right here. But okay, you may wonder, why am I showing you pictures of Barbarella when I'm actually going to talk about Charlatangruppen? Now let me tell you. The thing was, Charlatangruppen was founded in 1975 by the early blues addicts singer-songwriter called Thorstein Thomsen. So he formed this group with his better half, Pia Dalsgaard, and I don't know how they exactly started in the first year, if they were just like a kind of an acoustic duo playing like Thorstein Thomsen's songs, or how they did it. But on the record here, they actually had the lineup, the 1976 lineup of Barbarella backing them. So you will see on the back cover, there's a picture of all the members at the time, and it's pretty much Barbarella with Thorstein Thomsen and Pia Dalsgaard. So Thorstein Thomsen, he wrote like the songs on this record as kind of a school musical project, and it's kind of a conceptual album which deals with, I think, the students in a class at a primary school and the problems they go through. I hear there's a lot of bullying and stuff like that. I'm not completely into the topic of this record, and any topic that talks about bullying in schools and such, that's not really the stuff for me. But when I listen to this, I'm not that annoyed. I think in some kind of way it has this kind of pure and charming quality to it, and it really helps that the musicianship is very good on this album. You have some great musicians here, especially Eben Horn on guitar. It's not his most expressive guitar playing on this album, but it's a good playing, and he's a great bluesy player. Then you have the drumming by René Wolf. He really knows how to groove and funk out. And then Henning Poll, the bassist, also very funky player. You will hear, more rocking tracks, funk rock, ballads, and it's all performed with this earthy and humble feel, throughout. And Pia Dalsgaard, she's the one who actually sings most of the songs at the time, later on in the band you would hear Thorstein Thomsen sing a bit more, but here it's very much Pia Dalsgaard. And she has what many would consider an acquired taste vocal. This very nasal kind of vocal, but I actually like it. I think it fits the music quite well, and she just has this earthy feel to her voice. It's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be. I feel that she added a lot of soul and character to the record with her distinctive voice. And later on in the band, when she was not there on the last album they did in the 70s, which is called En på Hatten, when she left on that album, I actually feel like Charlatangruppen, or Charlatan as they were called at the time, it was not the same band to my ears. It's like they lost a little bit of their soul and character. But anyway, if you can get past like the silly concept of the album, and probably you will not understand the Danish lyrics. So what does it matter? The music is good. This is actually like a continuation of early blues addicts. You know, you have the singer and you have the guitarist. There's so many styles on the record. So instead of going through the highlights this time, I just want to show you, like, make some needle drops for you so you can hear the different styles of the record. And what you will hear is moments that I think is nice. So let's get started.
Se nu Benny klapper i med det dumme drilleri. Karin har nye briller på.
Fantastisk idé, vi stikker af i formiddag. Vi fyrer vores lager i en helt ny stil. Arne snakker med Hej og låner hans bil. Vi skal bare være fælles om det. Og han er også musikalsk. Han slår 5-6 på stribe. Og tænk at lugten er så stærk, den kan nå helt til Ribe. Hej, 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 hej,
If you liked what you heard, please press subscribe and like my video. And if you liked what you heard about Charlatangruppen with this album, that I gave med Benny, then please look out for my full vinyl rip of this record that you can listen in a couple days. And also my coming videos is gonna be about the later albums, which was released just after this one, and I actually like those a little bit more, especially the two that came after, so please check those out. And please, peace out and see you next time.